Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all so much for joining. And we just popped on live, so it always takes a couple seconds. We are here for our Becoming Human series, which is going to be, this particular part is going to be 5 parts. So part 1 is actually round 2. We had such a great turnout, and we had requests to do another one, so we did. That's today. So if you're interested, we have 3 spots left. It's pretty intense, so we're only doing 5. So we can really dig in it and get in there and do what needs to be done.
Sorry. It's the way he tried to like not be in it.
I know, it was really cute.
Yeah.
Thank you
Hi.
all so much for joining. Stella, you're ready. You're number 1, girl.
She is first on.
Let's give everyone a minute. Well, so to talk a little bit about what this is. Kayleigh and I have worked pretty extensively together for a long time now. And we really have a passion of being safe in the human body and what those experiences are, and working through trauma and shadow, and just being a human is hard.
It is.
It's really is this beautiful combination, one of our passions. So as you see through time here, we'll be doing shadow working series where we'll all kind of take turns in the crew and who's participating and what part speaks to them. You may see other people. It's really just like this whole turn for 2022 is about becoming human. And really enjoying being on Earth and the lessons. So we are here to just facilitate in any assistance that is called for at this time. Our last session was like really crazy powerful. And then when we got off, I cleaned my whole house. I was like, I have so much energy. So it really is going to stir a lot of stuff up.
It did.
Yeah, anytime the Kundalini gets involved, these are our lower chakras, our earth, our knees, our root, all the way up, to our heart. Really, we're really focusing on the lower, the human part, I guess you can call it that. But I love, so the keepers came to Kayleigh, so I want her to talk about it. Do you mind just talking about that again?
It's fine.
It's so cool.
So I was doing Reiki on my husband, who was the guy just limboing a second ago. And it was on his shoulder. And as I was Reikiing on his shoulder, he kind of fell asleep. And as he fell asleep, these 2 people, these 2 men came in. And there was one that was like 1940s kind of looking. And then there was like this full on hippie dude from the 70s. And I'm like that because that's basically what his facial hair looked like. It was all like, yeah, it was pretty cool. And then I went, oh, okay, who are you? Because although when you're doing Reiki, you're supposed to just go with it. I'm a nosy lady. And I was like, oh, who are you? And they went, oh, we're his keepers. And I was like, oh, okay. Is it okay that I'm doing this? I went, yes, fine. We're just here to kind of make sure that, you're looking after him while he's unconscious. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I've been kind of looking into them and talking to them, and they're kind of not like the guardian angel. You know how when you like trip up the stairs and you're like, something makes your hand and you're like, oh, someone must have been watching over me. It's that kind of energy. They kind of are in your field to make sure that they protect your field or your physical self, to make sure that you're not harming yourself in any way. They're the ones that kind of look out for you and make that happen. So yeah, they're kind of, they're somewhere between a guardian angel and I don't know, spirit guide. They're more kind of, it's really hard to explain. They kind of sit in between those areas. But yeah, they were really cool. But they just went, we're his keepers. And I'm like, what is this? Tell me what this is.
Cool.
And then I'm asking all my friends, like, have you ever heard of keepers before? And they're like, gatekeepers? And I went, no, they're not gatekeepers. They're different. So why not go and ask them myself? So I did. So
Yeah. And here we are. And so the last event was really cool because what we're going to do is I'm just going to dive in right into the energetic system, any kind of whatever is connected, and really go through and see if there's any cords that need to be removed, because we're always getting attachments and reattachments. It's really annoying. Any kind of just anything to remove, anything in your lower chakras that are just keeping you anxious, not feeling safe, any of that, doing really some deep work in all of them. So a lot of times you'll feel like ancestral release will come through. And I'll be going through and using each of the elements. So we'll do fire to burn, water to cleanse, air to purify, earth to fill. Doesn't always necessarily go in that order, but I sort of allow for it. But I do call in the elementals specifically for this. And while I'm doing that, Kayleigh like tunes in and greets your keepers and gives descriptions and names if they're there, if they're offered. It was really so cool last time. And so a few of the folks from the last session have actually been connecting with their keepers on a deeper level and continuing doing the work, which I think is just so amazing that they're really open to that. So this is such a great way to start too, if you're really interested in kind of connecting with a familiarness sort of about you, as Kayleigh was saying, that protective hand to keep you from falling, to work with if you want to dive into a different way to connect with yourself and do healing, because we all have the opportunity to heal ourselves, of course. Sometimes we just need a little direction. I mean, that's Reiki. That's what brought me here now. It's like my gateway healing modality. So yeah, so if you're feeling the call, we're holding this for 5 spots only. It's just it can be very intense. I'm already kind of feeling. So as soon as you're on the list, you agree to it, we'll step into your energy, but feel free to just watch too if that calls to you. Really, it's all about what you're supposed to do here in this time of now. And we just trust that it's all in divine timing. And this is going to be a big series. So we're just doing it in pieces. We have time to integrate. So you'll probably see us next month with part 2. We'll be taking the keepers and moving them around in different parts in all kinds of fun things. So we're getting together to that. Yeah, Stella, this is like such a cool thing. Really helps, especially this one, because it's foundational clearing and healing. It really helps you connect with other parts of yourself, which the keepers are so fun. There's some really neat ones last time. So if you feel called, just let us know if you donate. No pressure. We just are called to do the second session because there's so much interest in it. So it is in our world a little new in a really good way. So my thing is just gonna ding and everything's gonna ding 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 ding. So I want to say on the Facebook. So yeah. Eventually this will be a weekend workshop when I come over to England and you come over to me in our Stargates. Well, or plane.
Or by plane, yeah. I'm not going by boat. That's way too long. It has to be the quickest mode of transport.
Yeah. Well, that would be a Stargate.
It would be, but we need to have one first.
Yeah.
It's not far off.
Yes. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. Everyone get settled in. For those that are saying yes to yourself today and allowing this to be part of your journey, please make sure you've got tissues and water and you're comfortable. This will be deep. It doesn't just do today, so very similar to all the other energy work that we do. It will continue to process and open. So you will have things come out. Don't be surprised. This happened last time from a couple of folks who chatted with me a few days later that they're like, oh my gosh, you cut all the cords and I didn't even realize how many people out of the blue were calling me and seeing how I'm doing. And I was like, yeah, so it really is going to help you just that. So there'll also be activations and codes for growth. I'm feeling today, especially for those who are called to be on in this container, we'll be really solidifying the grounding, the roots, connecting even deeper into the planet and the system around you, the systems around you, just to really hold fast as you grow up. You will also grow down. Interesting. Okay. So Estella, if you're ready, my friend, we'll start to dive in. Hi, Laura. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. So nice to have you here. It's been a pretty productive Sunday already for the tribe and the crew. It's like as soon as our eyeballs open, we're like, we're doing readings and lives, and just manifestation portal is just such a great time. Yes, Estella. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So what I'm hearing for you, my friend, is really, I'm just gonna pull some cards because I just love cards so much. Yeah. Oh, we could do that. That sounds like fun. Yeah, this is really getting into your ancestral roots. Our portal number 37 came up, which in this deck is tied to the moon, which is so perfect right now. So what I'm hearing for you specifically is with this, and as you get to know your keepers, and Kayleigh's going to really expand on this, there is a deep connection to the moon, and this next portal moon. So the next super moon is a blood moon on May 16th. It's kind of like going within and connecting with that. So we'll just be going ahead and just putting some, just connected to that portal to allow you, if the moon is full while you're sleeping, you can connect that way. We're just going to go ahead and okay, so that all the elements are going to come in and the elementals, so you'll probably hear me go through a couple different dialects. And what we're really going to do is kind of like, as your root system is going to go down, and so you feel more connected to the earth and kind of like what's around you, almost like you're going to have a sense of not the, like the illusion of separation is going to thin, right? When you choose, when you're like, ooh, and basically when you say I'm a part of everything, and kind of you can feel yourself like vibrationally connect. Sometimes you even just be able to feel other elementals near you, especially when you're doing something like gardening or walking or somehow in nature in some faction of that. What else do you want to do? Yeah, we're really just going to give a really beautiful cleanup, really cleanse and purify. But I'm really hearing this, and I'm going to do all that, but this is really about you getting to know your keepers and really, really connecting them with it in a very 3D way, in that way of learning about them, and then also having them step forward. This is what they're saying to me, at least, that they really want to step forth. But I'll let Kayleigh get really into it because she's the one. Anything else? Yep. We'll tickle your Kundalini a little bit. Not too much because it seems like it's resting for a reason and gaining power, like charging up like a battery. But it's a good, we'll just give it like a little yummy Beltane kiss, just to really kind of give some extra charge to that. So when you're ready to release that in your system, it'll be like nice and smooth. Anything else? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself so you can hear all that Kayleigh is going to tell you. I'm excited. And other things. Okay, mute.
It's so funny that you said about gardening, because the first one that came in was this big, bearded, burly guy with this big white beard, and he actually had a garden hoe in his hand. He didn't give me a name. He just referred to a pain at the bottom of your back ribs, kind of it's on the left-hand side, the feminine side, that there was something there. There's been some sort of ache or pain around that bottom rib. And obviously the feminine side is our receptive, energetic side. So I don't know if you've been struggling in some way with connecting spiritually, but there is something there. The message that he brought in for me was that you're currently tilling the ground, or you should be tilling the ground, and that it's time to look at what seeds you want to be planting for this coming turn, for this coming season. We're in springtime. It's when we're looking at especially as we're coming through Aries into Taurus, where we're going to be applying our energy and committing that to it, putting those seeds in the earth ready to harvest later in the year. It's about you looking at what seeds you want to plant. What do you want to achieve in the next 6 months? Put those plants in. He also gave me a fabric of burlap for you. And also to, this is really random, to put beets, carrots, and sweet potatoes or yams or whatever. I don't know if you have sweet potatoes and yams, but for me in Britain, it's sweet potatoes. and roasting that in a tin in an oven, roasting it with some oil, olive oil over it with some rosemary and garlic. And it's kind of this nice roasted meal to help ground your energy, to really use that energy to, well, they're root vegetables, so it will help ground your root and your earth star just by having these this food. As he stepped away, there was a dark-haired lady, and she's beautifully stunning. She has like this serene, glistening white skin, and she has this dark black hair, absolutely stunning. Not as scary as the girl in the ring, but like very much like this gorgeous dark hair. And she kept peeking out of one eye, one side of the hair. And she said her name was Elatine. So that was her name. I actually got a name this time of Elatine. And she says she's the one that brings you your nighttime messages. So whatever you're picking up in your dream, she's filtering those to make sure that they're the ones that are coming through for you, that you're getting the messages that you need to. And then there was this energy of pressure on the side of the head here. And also, if you go down from the baby spot, the bit where your skull finally fuses here, if you go down from that towards the third eye, there was this kind of pressure and blockage that was going there. So I don't know if Alison's going through and clearing that out, or she can do while she's doing it. But there was kind of this energy of a blocked heaviness on just above the third eye, that gland, the pineal gland. She told me to give you linguine or noodles to eat for whatever reason. And yeah, there was just this kind of pressure on it was here on the sides of the head. And obviously that was to read, to drink more water, to allow yourself to flush out any toxins or whatever's coming through. But there was this need to work on the third eye to enhance that, to strengthen that, to massage that, and working to expand and have that, because there are messages coming through at the nighttime. So I don't know if you're most tapped in the evening when the moon's up, or whether there's it's coming to you through dreams. But whatever thoughts you're having in while the sky is dark, that's Elatine bringing through these messages. I know, carbs. They do sound tasty. But yeah, it was more rice noodles than wheat noodles, if that helps in any way. With regards to carbs. But yeah, Elatine's bringing these messages into you, and it's about writing it down so that you can weave. It's almost like each dream is a pin, and you have to weave between the pins to get the full picture. And so she's making sure that what's coming through for you is what you need to be hearing right now. Yeah, and that dude just likes gardening. He's just burly and wholesome, and has this lovely tanned skin. But his beard is big and white. And I wish he'd tell me his name, but he won't tell me his name. I'm just checking they haven't got anything else for me before they do. Oh, the seeds need water too. You can set intention into your food. Whatever it is you want to bring in, you can yes, garden. Maybe that's why he's there, to remind you to do it. But you can set intention into your food, whatever you want to think about, or I don't know if you use soul language into the food. Set your intentions in the food and then consume it. I suppose with linguine, you can, as you're eating it, you can each intention. But yeah, that's what they had. You okay?
Yeah, they just want me to speak to her directly. So
Go for it.
Okay. Okay, from your gardener. Okay. And she just wants me to speak directly. And it's so funny because he's got like I don't know if he's like a little shovel or something, or like he's just got like a thing right here. Yeah.
He's just holding it. Yeah. I couldn't make out whether it was a scythe or a hoe. It was somewhere in between.
Yeah, but I got like a little tip right here. It's not menacing. He's just like holding, like, it's like, oh, he's like, this is how I tap in. Maybe on the masculine side too. That's how it's communicating. Okay. Dayoto yanara yutoro harati niatoro. Kara inia sotoro yanara haya soto. Ia no yuti o inai. Oya inia sodia nia ori aniara ia nora. Ya ya na ya 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 uru ya na yo 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 yo. So he's showing me a style is you sitting like in a chair outside or like on a rock or something, and you have like a very wide stance, like you're very solidly with your legs on the ground, almost like getting ready to like I don't know, like push up, but it's like wider than that, and really just allowing that energy of yourself to sit solid in your space. So I don't know if that's in your garden or just outside on like your patio or something. Yeah, he says, speak the truth there. He's like, sit and speak the truth there. And so what that will do is, when the elementals came in, so we started with the fire, kind of turned everything to ash, allow the water come through to rinse away, and then and the air together kind of purify it. And when the earth elementals came up, they really like packed like this really delicious like mud all over, like from starting from your toes, right, including, they're like, oh, don't forget about the bottoms, and really made like this solid foundation going all the way up to like to your incarnational star, your inspirational star, right, the base of your diaphragm, all the way around, to really help give you support. So they're really saying too to treat yourself in that, lather yourself in mud. So I don't know if you're into doing a mud mask or a mud bath or any way that too. And speaking your soul's language directly into that as well while you're doing it, and calling in your keepers at that same time, whether that be in water or outside, it doesn't matter, they're saying. But definitely within the moon cycle, you'll know when you research the moon in more in depth, they're saying any kind of like rhythmic journeying drumming too. I'm really getting into that shamanic side of you, of the ancient dreamweaver. Yeah, and helping remove that fear. Here's remove some more stuff. So there is, deep within your with your sacral area especially, there's a lot of depth to it. There's this great Zen meditation that I think might be really yummy for you. Where it's just allowing your body to just kind of like sit and be, and really like expanding, letting your spine like it be comfortable, and expanding your breath into the tandem, which is the gravity point in our Hara line, which is our energetic cord. And if you do know about that, that's great. If not, it's about 2 inches below your navel. And to really just kind of concentrate when you breathe gently into the breath. That'll also help connect directly, like plug in directly into your sacral, and then also allow your kundalini to stretch a little bit. It's not necessarily like wanting to have like a big, right, but it is kind of wanting to like stretch itself out. And there was some really fun, like, it was like ancient earth beings that came from the stars. They weren't here very long. That's what they said. They kind of said just to like really start things off, and you were part of that soul group in that way. Not necessarily like a blueprint or anything, but like just the very ancient ones that came from another place, to really just kind of set the foundational structure. So they kind of stepped in, and they just kind of activated with me within just like, it was like a lot of concentration on your sacral and your left side, of really allowing, just bringing that into balance, and just allowing like the stillness to be able to just be still and not have like so much. So as almost like things are being dropped into your brain, into your heart, it's almost like being pulled straight into your energetic line and just pulled right into the earth. I hope that makes sense. It's like a lot, but you feel really good. There are 2 chords that when I went to kind of check them out, your team said that they are lessons that you are still learning, so not to remove them because you don't want to come back and do it again. So they said just really just allow yourself. They're kind of tucked in. I felt the 2 chords tucked in kind of on the right side, right where our leg and hip meet, like our pelvis, like right in there, deep within there in the ligaments. So if you want to kind of lean into that and see what that feels like. Yeah, and the other one, the left side on the back. Oh yeah, there are 3 spots left. Thank you so much for asking. So if you just let us know that you donate, and then I'll get you on the list. It's a pretty cool thing. Yeah, so you're definitely, your keepers want to work with you. What was the name of her keeper? The beautiful ethereal
Elatine.
Elatine. Okay, when she came through, she kind of did this swooping on like the left side, the lower left side of you. So I'm not sure if you've ever had like a chiropractor adjustment or anything, but she kind of almost felt like you're just like a little bit out of alignment too. So that might help some adjustment. But yeah. Yeah, I wonder what lessons too. They didn't say, but they said that when I just kind of like looked at the contract, they were like, these are very important lessons. Typically because they're kind of in, because they're tucked in so deeply. I find that those are ones carried from our ancestral, like deep ancestral, and because it's on, even though it's on the right side of you, it's within like your pelvic region, which is very divine feminine portal. So maybe even just kind of asking your guides to step in and show you, maybe not even necessarily those lives. I don't feel like it's from these lives ever, but I think maybe it's almost like you can review them and release them, but it's about you doing it. There's something about you being present in your healing, where you are making the conscious choice of it. It feels like Mayan jungle time. One of them, at least the ones tucked into your pelvic. The back
just feels like a tube in her back. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Right between the ribs.
Oh, this feels like,
I don't know. They keep telling me breath work will help with it. But that would tie in with your diaphragm, wouldn't it?
yeah, that's right where that is. Maybe as you're doing breathing, maybe really just concentrating on that. Or maybe you have like a floating rib that's just displaced. Perhaps putting yourself up against a wall and like breathing in the back of your back against the wall. Really like focusing in on that. Yeah.
I just see this swirling braid.
And
it's white, orangey, like a peachy orange and red. And it's braided, but it's in like a spiral. So I don't know if there's like a weaving of ancestral stories to do. Because you can take apart a braid and you can re-braid it in a way that works in a more beneficial way. It's made of like rags. It's beautiful, like ripped pillowcases, and they're just kind of braided up. Peach and red and white. And the knots are set with intentions between each one. Where it ends, then they knot it, there's an intention set, and then they start braiding again. And it just spirals. Thank you so much for donating. I feel like whatever that was, that damage that was done, it was done by a man who felt he wasn't strong enough to fight, like Richard III's weak arm.
Oh, that's mm-hmm.
Because that's that great myth, isn't it? That his arm got weak and he thought he'd been cursed, and he hadn't, and he blamed his old sister-in-law, Elizabeth Woodville, for that. So it could be that somebody recognized the power of women and so tried to. Maybe that's where it comes from. But there's something about the braid. Elatine can help.
Like a really, yeah.
But there was just this masculine weak armness about it. It was. But yeah, Richard III got a weak arm and he blamed his brother's wife for it, said that she'd cursed him.
Didn't she?
Possibly. Or maybe it was in his head and he just assumed it was her that had done it, whatever it was.
Yeah, those are two really interesting places to go, Estella. So it may just be simply just kind of just experiencing it and not even necessarily like reliving it so much, but just releasing it, just saying, you know, especially for the braid, I choose to unbraid and unknot what does not serve my greatest and highest good and release that what no longer serves me from the past, the present, the future of all time. And I choose to braid anew with intention of pure love and light and healing.
The healing in particular.
Yeah. And at love, light, heal, love, light, heal, love, light, heal. So it's like as you're unbraiding it. And maybe that's even getting those 3 color braids like strings and kind of putting them next together and braiding them yourself and wearing it as a bracelet or a necklace or just keeping it in your pocket. Tanja, that's such a great question. We're actually doing it live right here. So you're next on the list. Going there, we'll be doing, this is such a great question. Going forward, we'll be doing some when it gets really deep. If you're looking for like a really, really deep kind of like long-term thing. You want to do like the whole series privately, we do offer private sessions too. But yeah, that's a great question. So just hang out right where you're at. Yeah, I think that might be a cool thing to do, Estella. So allow yourself to just to rediscover your magic too. It's all tied in here together. Mayan culture for sure. Weaving in that time too. Ooh, blocking your third eye.
There's definitely something from the yeah, there was like it's really hard. It's like your pineal, and there was just something sat on top of the pineal gland that was coming straight down from, you know, where our skull fuses as a child, and that's going down from, just laying on top, which is the second time I've found that in the last couple of weeks, that's been what's happening with people. So I don't know if there's something that needs clearing and removing there, which I can absolutely do afterwards once I'm off, if you'd like me to.
Yeah, if you want us to remove that, we totally can. We can do that.
But yeah, there was something around 1400, 1500 in the Middle Ages. Whether there's a past life there in the UK or in Europe.
I think she was a seer.
It's quite possible.
I mean, like the kind that looked in that they brought the water You know what I mean?
In the dish, the
Yeah.
pensieve type thing.
Yeah.
That's
Held
quite possible.
captive, like in a tower.
And that would make sense with the moonlight. Maybe it was France. Maybe that's Elatine's an echo of it.
Oof. That life did not end well. Yeah, if you're open to us going.
It doesn't tend to as a seer.
Yeah, that was not pretty. But if you're open, yeah, we can go and visit. I would even if someone could just call in that part of you too, and saying I'm calling in this year from the tower life and embracing her and loving her and letting her know that everything is okay and we are okay. It's almost like as she was passing through that she chose to dampen her own sight in order to protect herself going. It's almost like, this is going to sound crazy, but here we are. It feels like whoever was in that life with you, Estella, is someone who retains a certain level of consciousness through the lives, and you're braided, you're twined in together. But they're not in this life. I don't feel them in this life with you. But it's almost like as that death was happening, as you were leaving, that you kind of were like, oh, I'm dampening myself to protect myself because this sucked really bad. Almost like your soul wanted a break. But that soul.
You were human. You couldn't see everything.
Right. Yes, correct. So what it may be is you simply call that part of you in, because that's the cool thing about time, right? And this like whole thing is essentially an illusion. So you can totally, there are no rules, right? So you can close your eyes and call that part of you in, so she can see you as you are now, right? And as she in that moment, you heal her in that life, you heal yourself. Yeah.
Higher heart.
Yes, kutorashi siya totokri.
There's things you carry from that one.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do some work after and just come in and open that and release it and allow you to speak to yourself. Which, I mean, you can do that anyway, but just give more of a direct. Yeah, so you're covered in mud from the diaphragm down, holding on to that rib. So just allow that all to soak in. Go out and ground if you can. Connect with the moon. Yeah.
We hit the quarter moon today.
Perfect. Maybe even do some dragon breath. Get the blood flowing. Feels good though.
What kind do you want to be?
Yeah. Any and all is possible. It's what is your passion in this life. So if you want it all, take it. If you only want some, take that. Trade it off. Yeah. Naturally, I think you just pull directly into your heart. It feels like they're going, your guides are like, yeah, shows this.
I'm just seeing pearls.
You, right? So if you're going to do that, keep it out here. That'll keep you less tired. Just like, yeah, I choose to bring it into my field to cleanse and release, right? But not actually going into your heart space. You can just expand your heart space out.
You could have a pearl over it.
Ooh, a pearl. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Like a necklace. Doesn't have to be white. It can be cream.
I'm gonna look something up. I'm gonna type something so I don't. I'm looking up. Hi, so anyway, you can just look up. I'm just like, oh, let me look upstairs right now, my ADHD.
Do you mean like water scrying?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe water scry yourself and see yourself in the water.
Is that like Lorna does?
Yeah. I don't see anything. I'm like totally Googling right now. So I'm like, I know it's in here somewhere. You feel like you were known too. You're kept in this tower. I know that seems like kind of storybook, but.
It's not unheard of.
Okay. Good. Okay, that they feel like they're going to continue working on it. So just know this is like weeks. It feels like through this term, probably right before, like right around that first week of May. It feels like right around Beltane. Like the trend, to really like any of that. Yeah. Feels good. Feels good. Thank you so much, Estella. Yeah. Right. That gardener dude is assertive. I like him.
I like him. He's like a groundskeeper.
Yeah. He's very knowledgeable with the system. He's like,
Mm.
don't waste your time doing that. Do it this way. You're so welcome, Estella. Please keep us posted. You know, you can always feel free to reach out if you have any questions or want any clarification on anything. We're here. This foundational clearing and healing is like, you're going to feel like, okay, it's starting to move on my back now. Wow. Beautiful. Yeah, they're just going to continue working on that. So just allow yourself to stretch and move and rest. Breathe. Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah. Okay. Let us go to Tanya or Tanya, depending. The Mistress Powell. Tanya. I think it's Tanya. Is that correct? Please correct me. Estella, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Yes. Oh boy, yeah, yeah. Okay, yep. Mm-hmm. Tanya, are you feeling lots of hands on your body? Oh, here they come. Because once they're showing me, okay. Yes. Yeah, we can. Mm-hmm. What they're showing me is as like right before you rest or you sleep or you're meditating, there's portals that open. And Tanya. Oh, that's an A. So sorry. Thank you so much. Tanya. Oh, that's so pretty. Come back, please. Yeah, okay. So what they're showing me as like as you're going into like sleep or you're drifting and you're getting ready to just rest, there are portals that are opening on each side of you. What? Okay. Yeah, ancient ones. Okay, so I'm almost 1,000% positive that you do healing in your human vessel. Is that correct? If not, you should be. but I feel like you do. Yeah, so as you're resting, so what happens is these portals open and essentially these figures come through, and they're very they almost look like ripple, like if you were to take the skyline, like the sky, right, with the stars, and like kind of like shape it into a person. So they're all here right now. There's 6 of them. You make 7. Oh, okay. So what they're saying is when you're resting or you're just kind of like existing, they step in and they work on you to help keep you. There's a part of you that is holding a gateway from another multiverse, so they could come through and do the work with you in the vessel. Okay, here we go. Almost, maybe sometimes you feel like yourself, you're being like lifted up, kind of like from the bed, almost like you know, when we were teenagers and we used to light as a feather, strict as a board, you know, like that, feeling uplifting you out and working. So what they're doing is they're like essentially with your body and mental and pulling you up and working on you to help keep the stability. That is so freaking cool. Okay. Okay. So they would like to, they're saying hi, and they would like to step in with me and really do a lot of work on just strengthening your torso area, and then also creating more drain lines going down the lower parts, especially around your knees, to help release fear, and work specifically with your lymphatic system. So they're going to be putting some more drains in here to help. Okay, so it's like almost like what we're putting on you is like and your torso is almost like a little like a little squeezer to help just your lymphatic system work better. I don't know if you've been feeling out of alignment in your torso area, but that's what they're showing me. I hope this makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so you're walking this journey. You're also here to witness humanity and really help people see the truth within themselves by removing the smoke within the mirror. So as you strengthen yourself, the clarity comes, your eyes become more clear. I don't know if people have been talking about your eyes recently, or that they're just clearer, they look different, or it's like a different color. That's part of your journey. If not, they will soon be doing that. Right. Okay. So we're going to level you up. That's what they're saying to me. So I'm going to bring in a lot of codes and activations just to really give you strength here in your core system, in your own personal central sun. Right. We can go there and there. Okay. And the 2 parts in the incarnational star and the tandem. Right. Yeah, we can do that. We're going to put like like a supercharged battery is probably the best way to describe it. Is going to plop it right into your system, and that you're going to feel that electrical shock. But it'll also help you push in and out easier, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm going to hit mute now and do all of that. So just take what resonates and leave the rest away. Yeah, we can go. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So I only got one keeper for Tanya. And this was a guy who is of Middle Eastern energy from kind of the time of the Crusades. I think he was on the side of Saladin, which is interesting. So the Ottoman Empire kind of side at times. And the first thing he did was have this pain between his forefinger here, but it kind of transferred up across to that part of the hand. So I don't know if you've been having some hand pain, and it's in the right hand. I don't know, it kind of had like an RSI, like a repetitive strain kind of carpal tunnel kind of energy to it. So I don't know if it's about resting that hand where you can, or if there's some sort of blockage, because obviously that's our hand where we actively do things. So if you feel like there's some sort of restriction when you're trying to achieve something or make something, or doing some sort of energy work in that hand. It may be worth healing, getting some healing on that part of your hand, whether that's physically or energetically on it there. He told me that his name was Achrahim. So he has this he's wonderful. He has this gorgeous beard. I love it. And he's kind of has like this what's the word, not cheesecloth, but this gorgeous cotton fabric all over him. He's absolutely stunning. But he said that at some point you were potentially in that crusade time on the battlefield, and then showed me this time where the sky was like gray and smoky quartz kind of color sky, and there's in the midst of battle, and there are horses everywhere, and people are dying and fighting, and it's almost like there was this time where the field almost cleared and you were stood and just this kind of pillar of calm and light came in, and you were kind of lifted up, and there was this moment of absolute clarity where you knew what needed to be done next. So I was then told that in this lifetime there may be a battle of faith or a battle for faith that comes as an echo from that lifetime that you had in the Crusades. The need to defend a belief, or the need to fight for a belief, or to stand in some sort of truth and be prepared to do that. And then I was shown, it was really weird, this kind of square corridor, and it was all different squares. It wasn't even like a corridor, it was very strange. There was like a square, and then like a vent that you would have, and then it was all these different kind of shades of brown, and they just kind of kept going back and back and back and back and back. So that may well have been something to do with Alison's portals that keep opening up. But it was this square, and it was very like 70s wood, moving back up and going up towards something. There was light coming through it, but I couldn't see where it was going to necessarily or from. There was also this pain that he put through my sinus on my right side again. And he said, if you get pain in your sinuses, use or consume local honey, because it could be a touch of hay fevery kind of energy going on. And to use honey in like a lemon and honey kind of drink if you have that sort of pain, to honey using that its properties in that way. And then I was shown the solar eclipse, or it was some sort of eclipse. I was shown a moon with a sun sat inside it. And I know that the next eclipse of any kind like that is on the 30th of April, which is Beltane Eve. So I don't know if there's things that you want to harness and work towards with Beltane, planting those seeds of intention, starting to take action towards whatever it is you truly believe in, and using and harnessing that power. It's also the second new moon in April, so it has extra power to it. So have a look into the moon and how you can harness that. I know Yasmin Bolland has a great resource for how to use the new moon eclipse that is also the second new moon of April. And that does take us through Beltane. So again, anything that you kind of want to purify or purge, do that with fire around that time as well. Then I was told, shown these mushrooms, and they were really long. They were kind of not like the normal mushrooms with the cap, they were long. So I had a look up to them, and they were morel mushrooms. Now, I'm not in any way a herbologist or anything, but I did Google the properties of it, and it has medicinal properties for anti-tumor, antiviral, and immune regulatory properties, and also fatigue resistance. So they are used in Chinese medicine. Have a look into those. It's morel mushrooms. They look all wrinkly like a walnut on the outside of them. They're really cute.
Like easy where I live.
Yeah. And then I was told, I was shown a risotto with peppers, red peppers in them. So I don't know if there's some benefit to you having red peppers or the risotto type food. And the stock was important. What you used as a stock was really important as well with that. So yeah, that's what I had. But he's called Achrahim, Acrahim, Acrahim. He was really cool though. He's very powerful.
Yes.
He has your corner. He stops people getting into your energy in that way. Like, he's very strong. Like, no, if you don't fit with the belief or the right energy of what we stand for, you're not coming in. So, yes, that's what I have.
That's amazing. So they came in and just ripped right through you. The battery thing that we put in, it kind of looks like it's a firecracker, and you like unraveled the sides a little bit, and there's like this glowing center right here. And the fire thing with the belt, they were very specific about. I heard that too. Beltane Eve on the 30th do some kind of fire magic or calling in the fire, something, whatever that is, whatever it calls to you, will help ignite that. And it's like it'll like crack open and it go right. So within that, like lots of fire. It is surrounded with like, it's like air and then water and then earth to kind of hold it securely in your system. So you're able to stabilize it at will. And you can just almost imagine, like, if you're feeling, if it's like too much, like if like strong emotions coming through, you can just tune into, it sits in between, like basically like an inch below your navel, an inch above your navel. And it's like right in there. And it's like, oh, I don't know. I guess you could even, if like put a button, like your navel could use a button, like you could press it and be like, more fire, more water, more air. Like seriously, it's so cool. But they really just kind of came through the drains everywhere in the lymphatic system, almost like, and they kind of were like pumping the torso to help kind of just move fluids. So I don't know if you have enough water in your system, but water with good salts will be really good for you. I heard drying herbs.
Drying herbs.
This turn for you this year is incredible. But you can feel it, right? You can feel it. They're like, this is you with your third eye and everything. 64 and 29 are the numbers. You can look those up. 10 and 11, 1 and 2, back to back. Yeah, big growth. Tanya. Yeah, I see it. Should you choose to walk the path, you could be an anchoring mother star if that calls to you. Should you choose to settle?
There is an earthy path.
Yeah, very. I mean, should she want to? Yeah.
The pink salt. It's the pink salt. Is it Himalayan, that one? I think it is.
Yeah. Tanya. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, now they want all the words. They have so much to say to you. Just allow this buzzing and all of this. This is just them talking. Oh my gosh, they're so excited.
Right across there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Downloads for you this week.
Yeah. Fun. Wow. Yeah. Holy cow, that was cool. No, I don't want to ruin this adventure for her, so I'm not going to tell her everything. Oh, divine timing. Trust yourself, follow your gut. Just follow it. Like any breadcrumb, it's going to be crazy, but that's what you're ready for, right? It'll take you right to where you want to go, right into the deep forest. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can feel it. Yeah, the fire in your belly. Yeah. It's like you're bringing the central sun here. Holy cow. Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah, you can use the fire. There's a lot of ice. You have ice energy. It's that knowledge that's been frozen in you. So the fire, I think, helps you unlock that knowledge because water has memory.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
You just kept swinging. You just kept swinging in that life. It's amazing.
I'm so excited to go back and listen to that part. I get like so deep into it. I'm like, I can like, they're like, okay, she's finished speaking. I'm like, okay, cool.
I hear like 3 things you say, and it's because that's what I'm supposed to tie in from the other. Mm.
I love working with you. So fun. Thank
So,
you so much, Tanya Powell. Yeah. Should you choose the anchoring star? Yeah, really. That you're feeling, follow it. Yeah. Oh my God, that's dope. Oh man. You've got like a council. Everyone's excited. Holy cow. You knew. Oh.
she can have a golden lion. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Holy cow.
And it knows it's gorgeous, just so you're aware. You have a very ego-driven, I'm very powerful and beautiful, look at me, golden lion.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, no, go bother her. She's going to love it. That's good. Beautiful. All right. Woo! Miss Wendy. Yeah. Yeah. She's a Leo.
That's amazing. Then you've definitely got the right animal around you. That's what I'm saying. It's amazing.
Oh, Wendy. Yeah. Oh my God, I love it. Yes. Oh, she knows. Oh, Wendy, you know. Oh, Wendy. Kayleigh.
Is he punking today?
So I'm so excited for this. Wendy is the reason. Wendy doesn't even know this. I'm about to share a secret, guys. Wendy's the reason I actually got to get myself together and like I'm actually going to in person for the first time in like forever teach Reiki 1 again. And I've changed it specifically because of what her guides had asked me to do. So it's going to be like a completely new, beautiful way. And it's all because she said yes to herself and it activated like these crazy contracts. Yeah. It's like, so it's like we got the space, everything set it like, so later on, if anyone wants to come and learn Reiki 1, come hang out. We're only doing 20 people because it's this little, I like to keep it like super intimate because it's really powerful. But the first card that came up for you, Wendy, was the circle. Yeah.
Those handprints are in my vision. I'm going back.
Holy cow, this is really exciting. Okay, so there is, Wendy, it's okay. There's a divine innocence within you that is to be cherished and loved. There are many in our soul family and our soul tribe who are just youthful, no matter what their age. And they're the reason like we still have play as grown-ups, right? So you're a part of that. But there's all of this is coming out, right? Okay, so the smoky mirror came up for you too. So what we're going to do when we go in there, there's just a lot of in your solar plexus, especially there's just some self-doubt, but there's like a yearning for more, right? So we're going to open that portal up for you to be able to step through. I'm going to just bust the hell out of your Earth Star Chakra. Get the knees all nice in alignment and all of those, that whole system, like pretty much like from your solar plexus down. We're just going to just clear it all out. Just allow it to drain. I'm going to open your drains really big. And we'll just blow through your Hara line too, which is your kind of like the center tube of energy. Which we're going to learn all about Reiki. It's going to be so fun. Oh my gosh. Okay. As a luminous wearer, this is going to up your magic. So don't be surprised after this if you start hearing like super low tones in your ear, almost like when they do the sound checks, you know, at the doctors. Do they even still do that? I don't even know. And it's going to be like lower tones. This is you connecting in with like, with the environment around you. Oh. Yeah, na shototoriki shinya kototoriane tototoriki ya shototo. Do you want to bring rain back to where you live? because you're a rainmaker. Yeah, Sotororia. Should you choose? No pressure. But I can give you the tools for it. Has there been drought? Has there been drought? Like, has it been extra dry where you have been? Have you noticed the there's like a vibrational do you feel that when you're outside, when you go outside, you feel like it's almost like you're shifting through dimensions. You're shifting through all the realities. Kind of like a whoop. You live in Nevada, that's right. Okay, great. Are you open to me? So here's what could happen when you say yes to this and we just blow you open, and as the keepers come in and all of that happens, this is going to be a big release. That also means that because of all of that, there's going to be, I'm just going to literally pull out, like I'm like weeding out all the cords, everything, just to get you ready. So don't be surprised when people come back to you. All of a sudden you're having people call you, or like out of the blue. So this is really about you creating space within you. Right. Yeah. To hold your frequency. Oh, your magic is going to turn on. Can I turn on your magic too? Okay, you're ready. Okay, cool. Yeah, Skutoria. Yeah, we're just going to call on your whole team. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Kayleigh, just let me know when you're ready and I'll mute myself. But they're like, oh, they're...
I'm ready. I just realized I was muted and I hadn't unmuted myself. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm just... I hope you're sitting down, Wendy. Okay.
Okay, so the first of your keepers that come in was this kind of Aboriginal Indigenous woman who is more modern Indigenous than traditional, and like before cooking that turned up. It's not that. It's an Indigenous that has lived through colonization, and she is there for you. She has this white salt and pepper, white and dark salt and pepper hair. She's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Her skin is amazing, but she seems to be kind of in her 60s, 70s kind of, but she doesn't look as old as that, but that's how she feels. And she's there to help you with whatever spiritual medicine you either want to harness and learn and use, or to have done to you. She is there as your spirit medicine guide, or keeper. She's that's aspect of you and what work to do. As I said, and she's there on for energetic medicine as much as herbal, as much as everything else. She's there for recognizing what areas you need. So if you need some guidance, if you're feeling off, call in the Aboriginal one. She says that you first of all, I was told there was a didgeridoo meditation, and I was like, that is such a cliche, but I don't know if there is such a thing as didgeridoo meditation, and that there is that could help set to balance energetically something within you that you may be needing, that kind of low humming didgeridoo kind of music, that level. She told me that you are a luminous weaver, as a liminal weaver, sorry, tell me off if you like, numinous and liminal weaver, so you can absolutely weave anything from the liminal space through into this realm as well, and also that there is a story. There's something about her being sat in a circle, a stone circle with a fire, and looking up at the stars and telling stories of the stars. Especially the Pleiades story of the stars, but not the traditional one that we all know from the Greco-Roman stories where Orion was chasing them. It is that kind of energy, but there's a different Aboriginal telling of that story that involves mermaids and all sorts. So have a look through that story and see if there's something that resonates from that story about the seven sisters. It's called I can't remember what it was called. Anyway, there was thing about that a little while ago in Plymouth. The second keeper that sits around you is this Renaissance woman, and she's got this green and gold dress on with this gorgeous cream and with gold thread kind of through it, a bit like this outfit but more square. And this bit's all cream and gold, and this is all green and gold around it, like that deep sage green color. And she is from Renaissance Italy, and she has this red curled hair, this tight curled hair that's red, which is I'm gathering, not from what she's telling me, not that common from there. She's called Lucrezia, and she had a very luxurious life, but her lesson in her life that she brings to you is that money can't get everything. And she learned how not to use power, how not to have power, and how to harness it in the wrong way. So she tells me that the elements can be worked with but not owned or controlled. So you can work with the elements, but ultimately they have the control. You can't control them, because in her lifetime, I don't even know what, there was a canal. They tried to harness the water, and the canal, it was breached, it burst, or something happened. They tried to control water and somehow, and it burst. So it's more about, what she says is to learn a more natural way for cultivation, whatever that means. That there is a more natural way to work with things, and also for you to look and how you can work with constellations in some way, or specifically tracking the stars rather than astrological, as in like zodiacs. It's not like that. There's things within the constellations, and there's a way for you to work with them in your work, to know the stories behind them or to work with them. And both your keepers brought through these constellations and the stories behind it, not just the traditional Greco-Roman storytellings of them. There are more indigenous tellings in other parts of the world, and learning those kind of aspects and bringing that in for you, because I don't know if there's something about you following the stars and using that as a way to, like sailors used to use the stars to navigate the seas, but I suppose depending on where they are in the sky, it's what season we're in, all these kinds of aspects. So there was that kind of aspect to you, but there was definitely this energy of fire around you, sitting with a fire and watching the stars somewhere that's really empty, and having this stone circle and just the stars and a fire, and just star watching and stargazing. There's something medicinal about that for you.
You're deeply connected to starship and the cloud people. So have fun with that. And the desert fae and a hawk and a peacock both came in and sat on my shoulder. So both of those totems would like to work with you. Oh my gosh, calling the desert fae with the cloud people and the spaceship. Oh my God, you could have like so many beautiful storms. It would be horrifying somewhat. So you'd have to put parameters around it. But yeah. Ooh.
There's also something about you being invisible or having to keep something secret. There's a reason you can't be seen. Yeah,
she was there.
Okay.
I'm really excited. Okay. I'm gonna calm down. Catalyst. She knows it. 33. You got 33, 7, 11, 5.
Master numbers in there.
Oh, you were there then. You'll learn about it later. I can't tell you everything right now. You'd hate it. You're like me. You don't like to wait.
Did that have water? Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Every time you talk about it, I see it happening.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it. Don't worry, it's on divine timing. But just allow your own magic to open. Trust yourself. Go within. Start connect with the cloud people on the desert fae peacock hawk spaceship. You'll probably start seeing. They look like fake clouds. They you can tell it's like they're trying to be a cloud, but they suck at it. Sometimes you can see them as normal depending on how much you let your eyes go. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. You knew it. You didn't know what, but you knew it. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to take it to another level. Yeah, I see it. Yes, thank you so much for confirming. Oh, yeah, I know. Yep, beautiful.
White marble pillars. Nice.
Yeah.
Is that a temple? I don't know if it's a temple. It's a big building, though. I don't understand why it's polished marble either, because people keep falling over. They're just not learning.
Yeah. We've seen it. I know. Welcome home, Soul Sister. You're about to go for quite a ride.
The menfolk don't like it when you laugh at them when they slide on it with their with their sandals. No, he's not happy. Sorry.
Yeah, get excited. This is what you've been waiting for. And you said yes. It's just going to go. So enjoy it. All right. Miss Janae. Janae here. Thank you so much, Wendy. Take it easy over the next couple days, weeks. Yeah, you'll be primed. Yeah. Yes, and yes. And yes. And maybe. I know I'm excited too. Okay. Janae. I know. Oh. Yeah, we can. You want me to go all the way in? And up. Okay. Okay. I just want to timestamp Janae in case. Janae, just let me know if you're here. 1:17:11. You're so welcome. Okay. Okay, what I'm hearing is, Janae, there's like, well, I'm hearing, feeling, and seeing. There's like a there's like a black ball of tar within the center of your, it's like right, yeah, in your tandem. So not quite, it's like, which sits like right above your sacral. This is your gravity, your security of being a person. There's a trauma that happened that has pulled you out of your body. Could be from this life. It's very tender. You have just such a gentle spirit. Your heart is so large. Wow, okay, expansive. Yeah, I love it. This inadvertently has not shut off, but dimmed extensively of your true ascension potential. It's like not the right wording, but your ability to open up and still be within your body. Okay, so this is like a 3-part series. So the first thing is, hi, Allie. First thing is I want for this to really take hold and allow you to come back into your body. It's got to be your choice, right? That's the one thing about this dimension is it's all about divine sovereignty. So I will set the stage for you. But your team, and I'm feeling this very strongly myself, is that we walk this together. So I will call your inner child through to also hold your hand. So as we do this, oh my gosh, your heart is so beautiful. This is going to be a very deep healing. So we're going to take all the elements, and essentially we're going to just set the stage with all of them, allowing you to like sit in your heart space, and surrounded by love, and just allow you to feel all of these emotions coming through as we release them. We're just going to almost like pluck them out like little, just like little tendrils, right? And we're going to weave them together and then return them to prana. I'm going to bring the Arachne in for that. Yeah, just very gentle. There's also our brain cells are also found in our heart. So we hold things there too. So we'll be just coming in and dipping into your incarnational star to allow them to come into alignment to release. So this is all like tied down and woven in down into your solar plexus, into that ball. Okay, so it's kind of like all wrapped into it. And so what we're going to do is I'm just going to take some liquid gold essentially and let it come and like drip down all through you and in you and allow you to fill up with this beautiful light. And we're going to walk together with your inner child and your future self as well, and this fractal soul, and we're going to call that part back. And together we're going to so when it's time to just put your hands right there, should this resonate, of course, and just feel it melting away and opening it up, and almost like it's like it goes in and then comes out as this bright sun. And in that moment, I'm going to open up completely your energetic vortex, essentially, to allow you to come back into your body nice and smoothly, like a slide. And then the Arachne are going to come in with some higher frequencies, like the mantis and the insectoids and the angels and all the fun stuff, all those love and light lovies. And they're going to really weave a lot of golden and white, just light and webbing on you to just kind of like secure you gently and safely in your cosmic egg, and allow you to really just like be reborn. Okay. Great. So I'm just gonna go silent while this happens. I may cry. So if you guys see me sobbing over here, that's normal.
You will cry. It's going to come up and hit.
Yeah, I can feel it coming already.
There's a reason. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay. First of all, the first thing I was shown was a duck. Now I cannot even tell you this duck. He's not a keeper. He just come in and he just sat there going wah, wah, the whole time. So I don't know if there's a duck guide or if it's a I don't know what it is, but it was a mallard duck specifically, and he just kept wah the whole time. Bit like, I don't know if you know Rosie and Jim. That was a program. There was a duck on top of the canal boat, and it just kept making that noise. Anyway, the first keeper that came through for you was a mime. This he had a white face, and it was all kind of cracked face paint, like what do they call it, grease paint, but it was kind of dried and cracked, and he was very sad. It's very weird because he had like blue eyebrows and like a red thing on his cheeks, and his hair was blonde, but it was like yellow blonde. It was very much the three primary colors that were on him. So I don't know if but while he was in my energy, there was just kind of like this, like, like you get a pinprick where it's kind of painful, but not painful. But it was very much here on the middle of your higher heart. Very much there was this pinprick, this constant kind of pain that isn't a pain, but it just sits there. I don't know if you've been sat with this pain for so long that you're not sure if it hurts anymore or it doesn't hurt anymore. But yeah, obviously there was Paris that came through with him, and actually that came through twice with both your guides at Paris. So I don't know if there's some attachment to Paris or a past life that's to do with Paris. But this mime, he wasn't necessarily from Paris, but he had that traditional mime kind of costume on with the gloves and everything. Although his gloves had like black mascara marks where he had obviously been crying in some way on his gloves, on his white gloves. He said that there's something you don't want to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to, because as a mime, if there's something you want to do, there are other ways for you to express it through some form of artwork or through some expressive form, whether that's dance or whatever, there is a way for you to have a cathartic outlet to get whatever this pain is in your higher heart out. I don't know if it's in this lifetime or it's past stuff that you're holding in your higher heart, past life stuff, whatever it is, it's sat there with this constant niggling pain that isn't even like a massive acute pain. It's just this obtuse little pain that just kind of sits there in your higher heart, like constantly, like there's a pinprick, like a safety pin, just sat there in your skin. That kind of once in a while it hurts and pricks and reminds you that it's there. But when you delve into that, that's the reason it doesn't feel so much, is because you're holding it there. So once you let that go, that's going to hurt for a while, but then it's also then going to heal and not sit there with this niggling ache anymore because it's being witnessed and processed. And yeah, very specifically art. And also he said that you're going to want to cry and it's going to keep crying. You have to allow the tears to come. You have to allow yourself to feel it. You don't have to talk about it, but you have to express it and process it in some way. Crying or drawing or dancing or singing or whatever it is, just get it out. Allow it to come to the surface and allow it to be processed. If you have to tell yourself that it's not even yours from this lifetime to get that out and process, it doesn't matter. It just needs to come out and happen. The second one I had was a Romany Bohemian woman, traveler woman, and she had this gorgeous brown outfit with all the ruffles kind of up. And she said something about Paris as well. So I don't know if Paris is of significance. And as I say that, there's that pinprick again. So it may be a past life from there. She had all these gorgeous ruffles and a tambourine, and and these scarves and everything. So I don't know if you have a drum or a tambourine or something that you use as part of your work, journey in work, or music therapy or something like that. But she said dance. You need to dance, whether that's for therapy or to change your frequency, whatever it is, it's important that you dance and allow yourself to do that. She also said that she's there and helps you as part of your scrying and divination protection when you're doing that work. She's very much your psychic guide that is around you. And says that there's things about traditions from your background or and to have respect for closed practices. So I don't know if this is you having respect for other closed practices or recognizing that your closed practices for your cultural background need respecting too. So I don't know if there's something there about respecting either your own or other people's, but she said that there was a reminder to do that, to make sure there was this respect for those closed practices. That's not to say that something can't be a hybrid version of something, and you have cultures that are thousands of miles apart and they do the same thing. That's not quite what I mean. There are specific closed rituals or practices within your culture or another culture to be respected, and that there are traditions within your background, your current lineage. There are things within that. There are traditions to either respect or honor or renovate or whatever it is, but there are things that you need to consider within your background to look back through. Then it gave me a whole load of types of foods. One was potje, which is Potje, which is kind of one pot kind of cooking. There is a style. It's kind of long. It's like a stew type thing, I think. I don't know. They just told me potje, and remember the big fat cauldron that it was in. Um, there was baklava, goulash, moussaka, and then they said the main big spicy herb for you was nutmeg, that there was something to do with nutmeg as part of that, and that stewing something and stews and stock and that kind of food would be really good for you to consume. I'm just going to have a look at nutmeg's properties because I feel like that's what it was to do with properties. So yeah, antioxidants, anti-inflammatories. It can boost the libido. It has antibacterial properties. So this is probably just something that comes through and cleanses and invigorates your energy going again, which dancing would also do. So it does feel a lot like you've got this subdued kind of energy because of this pain that's in the higher heart, whether it's yours in this life or whatever. And it's about allowing that to come out and be processed and then reinvigorating everything back up again once that's kind of out the other side through dance or food. And it doesn't have to be spicy food, but the foods that are in it, that are in these kind of recipes, which feel very kind of Eastern Europe kind of energies. So anything from Turkey across to Greece and up, that Slavic region, all of that, these recipes, and again, Romania is part of obviously all that part as well. Well, it's right next to it. If you go to Corfu, it's nearer Romania than, oh no, that's Albania. But anyway, but yeah, they're all in that kind of region. That these traditional Eastern European kind of recipes, there's food, there's nourishment within that can bring you some form of healing that you're requiring on an earthly level. And it's about looking at that kind of palate that isn't spicy. Like if you go further towards the more Mediterranean, there's this spicy kind of, it's not about that. It's not about the gyros and all that. It's about going more into the aubergines and how you flavor that with nutmeg and all these wonderful, and like cinnamon and all those kind of aspects, rather than the full-on chili, spicy, hot stuff. It's warming, invigorating, without being out and out needing a glass of water with it. That's what I've got for Janae. There's something about Paris.
Were you talking about like Eastern stuff, Eastern European stuff?
Yeah, like Romany.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah.
Romanian. Maybe even Transylvanian kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Croatia, like all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We went in together. There was higher heart. I heard you talking about that too. I feel like you said a pin.
It literally, like when you get a safety pin and it pricks your skin,
yeah.
like when you accidentally prick it, it was like that, but it's just sat just here.
Yeah. So that is like it's like one of the cords that is in that ball. So
it's doing it now. Yep.
Yeah.
It's going down.
Yeah. So basically what we did is we kind of took like this beautiful golden gorgeous healing energy and just like opened up that space a little bit and just let it all flow deep in. So as it goes down this line, this little like prick space, it's just going to come out, and it just melted all the way in into the core of the space. And it was you, your inner child. I was there. There was some higher frequency beings. They're not really they don't really come to Earth very much. Today, this is you. It was so you just you definitely want to go back. If you're reading, if you just joined us right now at the second, you started at, it's not even, it's like a magical moment. It started at 1 hour and 17 minutes and 11 seconds. So just this, as we were going through and dipping in and getting into that tandem core, allowing that. And so that golden light came from within and really just like melted through that ball and released it all into prana. And there was, I mean, I literally could hear like angels singing, which I'm not, I'm not really an angel girl, but I'm an angel girl. It's weird. It's a weird time. But definitely those higher frequencies, lots of like birds singing, just like a rejoicing of a release. I also felt in that moment your heart really kind of expand as well. So this whole middle part with that, and on your back too. So I don't know if you're going to stretch your back out today and let that energy come through. There's a lot of golden light codes that then came down. And also Mother Earth came up in like a very motherly way and just like gifted you all of this beautiful, like it was like the bottom part of you was just glowing this green, this like key lime green color was coming up and wrapping itself around you and like in this beautiful blanket. And within this golden cosmic egg of yours, I'm really allowing that and really allowing the lightning to come through. It was just one, because lightning, it starts from the bottom and the top and meets in the middle. And that's just what kind of happened. But your middle was at that ball, at that tandem. And it just went, and it went. So, yeah. Did you say something about the medicine wheel too? Did that happen, or am I like?
That was the one before.
Okay.
It could be valid in this one too. I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not.
Like foods and stuff. I mean, that's what I mean with the medicine.
It was foods. It was all these stews, and in the bowl, and the potier is just a cauldron pot.
Yeah.
And yeah, cabbages. stews,
Yeah.
all those kind of back to basics, lentils, pearl barley, all those wonderful earthy kind of stews which doesn't make sense as we're going into summer, but there you go.
Yeah, but for rooting.
Exactly. And you can have the sweetness of baklava if you want it.
Yeah, support. Yeah, so definitely go back if you're just tuning in now. Oof. There's going to be just a lot of release from your torso area. So make sure you drink a lot of water. And like Kayleigh was saying with those foods, trust what your body needs and wants at this time. Yeah.
There's like an unclicking of your spine about to happen.
Yeah,
Just
right
at the
here.
bottom of the ribs. Yeah, the middle of the back and the bottom of the ribs.
Yeah.
It feels tight right now, but it's going to go. Something will happen and it'll go in a good way, not in a bad way.
Yeah. And so that's part of that lightening and opening yourself up to as an antenna, as an open channel again.
Oh, that's what your angel number meant, by the way. The 11711, the time that we did her. I Googled it.
11711.
And it says the spiritual meaning of that number actualizes the inner wisdom that can be the opening spree of your life. So it's like a realization coming from that time. That's your timestamp, so which I don't normally pay attention to, but that was a palindrome.
I didn't even notice it was a palindrome. I just wrote it down. I was like, no, make sure you get the time right.
Yeah, lots of water.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like your kidneys are going, give me water.
Yeah, so we hold fear in our kidneys. So don't be surprised, Janae, if you get a ton of flu-like symptoms. Oh my God, I can't even speak. Allow yourself to rest. This work is going to take you into early summer. So just allow this these waves to wash over you. Allow yourself, hi Amy. Allow yourself to really breathe and rest through it. And when you're tired, rest. Because as you're releasing, these are big releases. You're also going to be getting like your DNA is going to change, all of that, right? It's going to be a big upgrade. You might get migraines, ringing in the ears. Yeah. Even if you want to go to a chiropractor and get your back adjusted or do some somatic movement in that way, or hang upside down, even like on a jungle gym or a tree limb or yoga trapeze, if you've got that in your life,
or even the rings. You can go and do the trapeze, the rings now. Yeah,
something like that to remind you that you can fly.
Yep, and cranberries to help with that filtering out of everything. Just so anything that is being filtered out doesn't stick around, I feel, with those cranberries.
Yeah, definitely a good clearing of the kidneys. There's just going to be a lot. So just take it easy. And please, just remember, you're the heart of the sky.
Oh, I love that picture. I've never seen that one before.
I know, it very rarely comes out. All right. Thank you so much. It feels good. It feels like, so there was a big, almost like when a star is born, kind of, and now it's just going to be it's going to end up being this beautiful, steady, warm glow. It's really going to allow your heart is just so gentle and beautiful. Holy cow. It just goes on forever.
There's something feminine specific about that fear as well.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to look into why that is, what that is.
Just know you're safe and supported.
You got that mime dude. If you want to cry, he'll just sit there trying. I feel like he just tries to cheer you up when you're sad.
Yeah.
He's almost tragic in a really sweet way, not like, yeah, if that makes any sense.
Like the mime from Tangled?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I saw, like, that's when I heard mime and I was like, mime from Tangled, and then I just saw him and I was like,
yeah, but he's kind of tragic, but like, just because my life's tragic, I can't fix me, but I can fix you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, beautiful. Janae, thank you so much. Please feel
Thank
free,
you.
of course, everyone watching the replay, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out for us. We'll be doing part 2 with calling in your keepers. We'll be moving through the system. We're going to sit and see where that feels next, and that'll be in May.
Yep.
We're going to let Beltane happen. And actually, I think it feels like it's coming. We're going to be doing it during Mercury retrograde, which would be interesting. So,
well, that would make sense if you're going through the heart area, reflecting rather than, acting.
So I imagine it if you really want to go through some emotion. But we're also doing a little bit of, we're doing the practicality shadow work where we're going to team up with Sammy and we're going to do some diving in activations and clothes and clearing all that. And then Sammy's going to do her pentacap thing and kind of give like a practical way to do it to get through shadow work and really helping just expand that. So if you want to do that, I think it's on the 21st. Please check out all the events. There's like so much going on everywhere all the time. Like on TikTok, our crew is like crazy busy. It's busy time. We've got Find Your Path. You're going to be doing Reiki 1 in person and then Reiki 2 and Reiki 3 this year. Soul Reiki. There's like all kinds of stuff that's happening.
We've got collective tetherings. We've got
15th, right? Oh my gosh, that's coming. That's next weekend, isn't it?
It's next weekend already. I can't believe it's happening already.
Tethering. We're doing a collective tethering the heart. This thing is like life-changing. I mean, really, we've done it a bunch of times now, and this is the first time where we were really called to do like a collective. So like,
yeah, a couple of the although we had individuals, the group collective energy in the last round of tetherings was massive. There's actually 3 parts that ended up being a collective code because it was that powerful.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've ever, the tetherings are like in my, they're like, we just love them so much. They're just life-changing. Kayleigh's been tethered. Her husband's been tethered.
Yep. We had it all at once.
Yeah, he did. We did a whole thing from top to bottom, bottom, top, left, right, up and down, circle.
That's unlocked him though. That's unlocked so much of his inner wisdom and his,
it's
honestly.
only 1 month and so much. And don't get me wrong, like if you like, so the idea behind the collective tethering too is to allow a month to go by for each integration, and because it's going to be very powerful, you know. So if you've been to any like the portal events, like Glimpse of Grace or anything along those lines, anytime we get the collective in, it just allows for so much more energy, and also like allows it because there's so much more energy in that way. It allows us to just really like get in there and do it. And Nancy's gonna do a freaking soul code, and then Kayleigh's gonna decode it. Oh my god,
I love it.
It's incredible. It's like $45 or something. 45.
Yeah, whereas obviously a tethering individual personal one is much more expensive. So if you've ever been intrigued, really try it out, because honestly, I went quiet through January and February because my tetherings were like hitting me. And I really feel like now it's fully integrated, and now I'm coming out the other side of what happened. It's powerful. It's powerful.
Your life will change. I mean, I always thought if you just want like a 3D version, we had someone come in and they wanted to go from making a certain amount to and quadrupling that, and they did that in 10 weeks. That was their intention. So it's like whatever you want will happen.
Yep.
Be very specific of what you want to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go check out everything. You can find us. I'll update the events. We're all over. Thank you all so much for joining. Yeah, the 16th to 21st. Wow, we're busy this month. I didn't even realize it.
Very busy. And I've somehow got a fit-in course in between that. So
now you've got your tarot course.
Yep.
Starting in May. Go take it, guys. It's worth everything.
Yeah. We're just finishing up the last 2 sessions because I was poorly last week. So we've got 2 more sessions tonight and next week, whenever I fit that in. And then, whole new cycle again. People coming to learn tarot again.
Yeah. And I like totally opened up my schedule this month, and like if you're feeling called to get some private scheduling, it's all like I don't even know, like 25-35%. I was like portal time, hooray! So that's all adjusted. You could go SaiYunaste.com is like the easiest place to find all the stuff, and then events tab and global or on the page or whatever. So thank you all so much for joining. If this lets me download it, I will send the recording via email to all of those folks.
Ooh.
All right, so we're gonna log off. I feel like we're finished. Do we feel finished?
It does, yeah.
Complete, right? For stable foundation, we end on.
If you do it in 10 seconds, it's 144.44.
All right. I play the broadcast specifically in real time now. Ending the broadcast. Bye.
Hey,
I missed it.
you missed it.
Yeah, this is why I don't plan, guys. That's why I'm like, okay, bye.